Could the Red Sox be trying to move their breakout center fielder? What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Red Seat Radio. My name is Corbin, and the wait continues for the Red Sox next move. It's been over a month at this point since we've seen a headline move from the Boston Red Sox. So the question everyone's asking is, where do they go from here? Do they stay put? Do they stay the course? Or do they do something completely out of left field that no one was expecting? Well, the latest rumors surrounding the Red Sox next move is that it might involve one Jarren Duran. What we're going to do in today's video is we're going to break down the latest reports / rumors surrounding the possibility of trading Duran, talk about why the Red Sox may want to trade Duran, and talk about some reasons why they may want to keep him, ultimately try and decide if this is a smart idea for Boston. But before we get into that, we are on the road to 10,000 subscribers. We are less than 1,000 subs away from that 10K mark. So if you're new here, help us out, hit that subscribe button. We talk Red Sox content almost every single day. Also, make sure you guys hit the like button on this video as well. Helps these videos out a ton, and it would mean a lot to me. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one. Let's get into it. Okay, so there's a couple of things we need to consider before we actually make a judgment on this rumor or report. The first thing we need to look at is where this report came from, and obviously the report itself. This one came from a live stream yesterday where Jon Heyman was asked about the Red Sox current situation. He said he's not even entirely sure whether they are buyers and sellers at this point, that teams have been asking about Kenley Jansen, and that he probably is going to get moved at some point. He mentioned that Masataka Yoshida probably isn't going anywhere, and then he brought up Jarren Duran, saying that he's heard that the Red Sox are possibly shopping him around. Now, he wouldn't go as far as to say the Red Sox have confirmed that they're shopping Jarren Duran. In fact, he said even if they were, they probably wouldn't tell him, but he did say that he wouldn't be surprised that by opening day, Jarren Duran ends up on another team. This to me is absolutely all over the place. First, he starts off with, hey, the Red Sox are shopping Jarren Duran. Then he goes, well, I don't have confirmation of that. And then he goes, well, I probably wouldn't be surprised if it happened, right? That's sort of all over the place, and that's why you need to take a look at the source itself, because Jon Heyman is a well-respected national baseball journalist. He has been for years, but when it comes to the Red Sox, he tends to be all over the place, and sometimes when you're everywhere, you're nowhere at the same time, right? You just end up overspreading yourself, and nothing is accurate anymore, and for him and the Red Sox, that appears to be the case. Over the last couple of weeks, he's gone back and forth between the Red Sox are sellers and the Red Sox still have a big move left in him. He has never really been super accurate with where the Red Sox go during a offseason. Even before this offseason, last couple of ones, he's been a little bit off here. So Jon Heyman reporting about the Boston Red Sox, never exactly super accurate, especially when it comes to offseason proceedings, but that doesn't mean there's not anything to this. And the second thing we need to look at outside of just the source itself and the actual rumor is whether or not this makes sense from a Red Sox perspective. Last year, Jarren Duran really was a breakout star for the Boston Red Sox, posting a .295 average with a .346 on base percentage and a .482 slug, good for a .121 OPS plus, or about 21% above league average production when it came to hitting in Major League Baseball last year. That's a really impressive jump from what we've seen of Jarren Duran in the past, and truly was a breakout season. This was in just 102 games, and despite the fact that he didn't play as many games as basically everyone else on this roster, he still was at the top of the team in almost every single offensive category, including 5th on the team in total WAR this season, despite the fact that he played 24 less games than Connor Wong, who was in 4th, and over 25 less games than Justin Turner, who was in 5th. He really was a spark plug for this Red Sox offense and completely turned his game around in 2023. Not to mention, he also took massive steps forward defensively last year. He went from -2 outs above average and a -3 fielding run value in 22 to a 0 outs above average and a -1 fielding run value in 2023. Is that the most incredible leap we've ever seen? No, it's probably not, right? We would prefer that those numbers be positive, but to see that step in the right direction after a terrible 21 and 22 defensively is an absolute godsend. You combine that with his speed, and all of a sudden he was a pretty decent defender out in center field, and this was really big for the Red Sox, and it could be really important going into 2024. The Red Sox clearly don't want to spend money on veteran type players, and their plan is very obviously relying on this young talented core of the Red Sox to take these steps forward and to be competitive in Major League Baseball. This is how this team is going to succeed this year. You're going to have to see improvements from basically every single player on this team. The good thing here with Jarren Duran and why he could be so important to the Red Sox 2024 plans is because he's already shown he can do that. There was a lot of doubt on Jarren Duran going into 2023, so for him to be able to do this and put together a season like this, now have that experience of being successful in Major League Baseball, could be really important to the Red Sox total success going into 2024. Clearly, there are quite a few reasons why the Red Sox may want to keep Jarren Duran around. He proved that he can play offensively at the highest level. He proved that he can improve defensively and hopefully continue to improve defensively. Obviously, he's always still had that speed that impacts every aspect of his game, but he's also 27 and he's also under control until 2029. That's a whole lot of control for a guy like Jarren Duran, who's pretty much entering his statistical prime of his career. 27 to about 31 or 32 is where your statistical prime tends to be. So you've got a lot of reasons to keep him, but there are also some reasons to trade him as well. When it comes to Red Sox outfielders right now, outside of Jarren Duran at the Major League level, you've got a ton of other options. You've got Wilyer Abreu, you've got Masataka Yoshida, you've got Tyler O'Neill, you've got Rob Refsnyder, which is already 4, including Jarren Duran, that's 5, and the Red Sox are possibly looking at someone like Adam Duvall or Chris Taylor to sort of round out this lineup going into 2024. Then not only do you have those guys, but you also have, say, Don Rafaela knocking on the door of the big leagues, and your top prospect right now, according to Sox prospects, Roman Anthony, making about as many waves as humanly possible as he tears his way towards Major League Baseball. That's a whole lot of players and not a ton of space to fit them. At some point here, you're going to have to make room. Now, you could just sort of wait it out, right? Tyler O'Neill, Rob Refsnyder, they're free agents after this season. Plus, we don't know how good Rafaela or Roman Anthony are going to be at the Major League level yet. You could just hold out on everything and let the cards lie where they lie. Or you could try to capitalize on a really valuable asset right now that you could turn around and turn into a really valuable asset that you need somewhere else. When you're looking at the trade values of outfielders right now for the Red Sox, you're looking at Roman Anthony, who's number 1, and then it's Jarren Duran. His value right now is at an all-time high. If the Red Sox aren't willing to spend the money necessary to round this team out, i.e. starting pitching, then you might have to deal from your highest asset, which is young, talented outfielders, and Jarren Duran right now makes the most sense out of all of them. I understand he has a ton of potential, and I understand he was an absolute spark plug last year, but Jarren Duran is also 27 years old, a little bit older than basically every other player that is in this sort of young core that you're calling over the next couple of years. He's also only had one successful season in Major League Baseball, and it was over the course of 102 games. It wasn't even a full season. Jarren Duran has all that control, so if the Red Sox really want to try and turn this offseason around and go for a trade instead of spending the money that they should probably spend on a starting pitcher, Jarren Duran might make a lot of sense for that. He has the highest value he's ever had in his entire career, and this could be an opportunity to sell high on a guy that you maybe aren't super confident in being able to replicate what he was able to do in 23. So I think when we're taking a look at why the Red Sox might want to trade Jarren Duran, it does make sense. There is some sort of fit here for this rumor. Duran is at his all-time highest value in terms of trade opportunities. You need young, controllable starting pitchers. Jarren Duran could get you that, right? And I think it makes a lot of sense why they might be putting him on the trading block. But personally, I don't think Jarren Duran gets traded for anything else else but a young, controllable pitcher. I don't think the Red Sox have to trade Jarren Duran. You could have, say, Don Rafaela wait it out in AAA. You could have Roman Anthony do something similar. Jarren Duran has been an asset for you in 2023. He's probably going to be an asset for you in 2024, right? You don't have to have him leave this team in 2024. So you have the ability to be really picky with who Jarren Duran is traded for. And I think realistically, why would they trade him for anything else but a legitimate, controllable, young starting pitcher? Now, I personally don't see anyone putting up a Jesus Luzardo, a Braxton Garrett, a George Kirby, a Logan Gilbert for one Jarren Duran. But I also think if Miami Marlins are like, hey, we really want Duran, we'll give you Braxton Garrett, we'll give you Luzardo if you give us Duran and a couple more prospects. I really don't think Breslow's going to let him stand in the way of that. So I could legitimately see Jarren Duran getting traded. But again, I think it's only in a very specific scenario. And honestly, I don't know if that scenario is going to pop up this offseason. I think that's why we haven't seen him traded yet. I'm sure there have been calls about it. I'm sure the Red Sox have said, hey man, what do you think about Jarren Duran for blank? But if nothing's going to come of it, the Red Sox aren't going to be ones to be like, man, we got to get rid of this guy, this 27-year-old stud who was a breakout star for us last year. At least that's in my opinion. So let me know in the comment section down below, what do you think? What do you think about the possibility of the Red Sox trading Jarren Duran? I know a lot of people don't want him traded at all, but if it was for a Jesus Luzardo or a Logan Gilbert or someone among that caliber of pitcher, would that make it a little bit easier for you? Let me know all your thoughts on the Red Sox trading Duran in the comment section down below. As always, if you made it to the end of this video, do me a favor, help us get to 10,000 subscribers, less than 1,000 away, by hitting that subscribe button. If you're new here, we talk Red Sox content almost every single day. Also, make sure you guys hit the like button on this video as well. Like I said in the intro, helps these videos out a ton, plus it would mean a lot to me. Thank you all very much for clicking on this one, and I will see you in the red seats.